10 days since surgery. And this is after like a whole day of like eating food. But my bloating has definitely gone down. I don't feel like my rings are as tight anymore, which is really good. Announcement is I found out on Friday, so a week after my surgery, that I have 6 embryos that have been biopsied and are getting tested currently. After we find out the results, so those ones have been frozen now, and we'll find out the results probably about next Friday. I'll find out how many of those 6 embryos we can actually use. So when I found out, I was with my sisters, we were out, and yeah, I had got the email probably about 3 p.m, but just didn't check until I was out with my sisters, probably my 3rd drink in. Was definitely overwhelmed when I saw the email, so I called Jake and spoke to him about it. He was really encouraging and got me really excited about it again. So I had a really good night because I was just on a high that we actually have embryos that they're getting tested. At least we have something. But yeah, I guess it's just about praying over those 6 embryos and waiting to hear our results. Jake's hopeful that we'll have all 6, but I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit, I'm trying to, not have my hopes so high. So I'm expecting since the very start to get, like I said, 4 would be amazing, but like going through the process now and hearing what other people have been through, I'm thinking 1 or 2, maybe 2 more likely in my head, or 3, but who knows. So I was in my dentist appointment today getting some fillings done. My face has got feeling again in it because I had some anesthetic, so I was pretty numb. So that's why I didn't film anything when I was recovering from that, but now I can actually move my mouth again. Anyway, when I was lying there and I was scared, and the worst part about getting your fillings done isn't actually the procedure, but it's also the injections. Like, they're pretty scary going into your mouth, and then they actually feel like a little bit of a sting, and they're slow. They like seem to just keep them in there forever. And while I was sitting there and I was praying, because I was just so scared, like I saw a vision of my little baby's feet, and then the second filling I saw a vision of my little baby's hands, and I heard a promise saying that this day next year that I'll be playing with the little feet and playing with the little hands, and I'm really excited. Oh man, I'm such an ugly crier. I'm really excited, and yeah, I am expecting it now. So February 2021, I am believing that I will have a little one, and I'll probably be completely unaware of the date at that time, but I can see it so clearly in my head. I just thought I'd share that. Off to work on a Tuesday, and I just want to be real with you right now. Waiting for these results has been so hard. Just can't concentrate. All I can think about is getting this phone call and what's next. Am I going to go into the clinic, and do we kind of force an ovulation through more injections, or do we wait, or do we get a blood test to see whether I'm ovulating now? Can they even do that? Like, I just don't know how they do the next part at all, really. I don't even know if I get my test results back over phone or email, or if we go in. So yeah, so many things. I know that the embryos all will come back with like a grade as well, like and I don't know what any of that means. So I feel super clueless and just totally left alone. Like, feels like it's like, okay, perfect, just do your own thing, and it's kind of hard not to just to ignore everything that we've been through. So anyway, been ups and downs, but it is good to start feeling myself again, not being super bloated all the time. I have lost about a kilo, just a kilo, but it is nice to not feel super bloated and to just concentrate on trying to get healthy. However, all I want to do is get lean right now when I know that I need to have a good healthy BMI.
Oh, hi Cherie, it's Manuela. How are you? Good news, we've got 2 embryos to use for you. So give me a ring and you can start at any stage. So congratulations, I'll see you soon. Thank you, Cherie, bye.
2 embryos that we can use. The next time I get my period on day 1, I phone up the Melbourne IVF and we get started. I have no idea what that means. I'm believing that it means probably more medication, more injections. Yeah, so she asked whether I was still having quite a regular period, and I am at the moment, which is quite nice. So I just believe that that would mean I don't need to sort of be on anything to sort of create a period or like generate one. So yeah, next time I get my period, I give them a call and we get started, and I have 2 embryos and I am just so excited to get started. And yeah, so now I've got to aim on eating better again, because lately I've been in the waiting game. It's just made me want to get fit, so I've just been eating lots of protein and sort of avoiding all of the nutrients that my body probably needs, and not having as many supplements because I've run out. So I'm going back on my multivitamins and just planning to eat lots of good carbs, good fats, and good protein. And I, yes, was having lots of protein, but the protein I was having was lots of packeted stuff. So lots of like powdered protein. And yeah, I want to get back into eating quite nice. I've had really good days, days where I'm on top of the world, I'm feeling really positive, because I already know we've got 2 embryos, 2 little babies that are in this little dish in a lab. Like, they're already there. So it's just about connecting them to their mama, and that excites me. But at the same time, I just think about it all the time, and I can't help but every morning wake up and get a little bit disappointed when I go to the bathroom and I haven't actually started my period. So I have called the clinic to find out just what is next. I'm listening to a podcast at the moment, which is really insightful, and I haven't actually got to that part in the podcast, so hopefully they do say it. But it's actually my doctor from Melbourne IVF that's speaking, so I will share the podcast that she will be talking about, and basically runs through the whole start to finish of what's involved in IVF. The podcast also talks about other different ways on getting pregnant, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. I'm just so sick of waiting, guys. So I have still not got a period. No, my dog's trying to eat my food. And you've got turmeric on your face, so I really don't want to get turmeric on me. So I still have not got my period, and I am just waiting. Everything's on lockdown, really. The IVF clinic is still open and they are still taking clients at their own risk, but I'm not sure whether I would even go for it. So I wasn't feeling very great last week, and I was a bit nervous. Maybe it was coronavirus-y, but it was just a little bit of a sore throat, and I really just think it was being run down and being super stressed with everything going on, because I was just feeling nauseous like every day, and I still do feel quite nauseous. I just don't really have the same sort of appetite that I used to. Doesn't mean that I don't eat, but I just don't feel like super hungry. I've been watching a lot of Anna Victoria's videos, and she's a personal trainer as well. She's keeping me so sane, because it's just so bizarre how somebody that's in your same sort of position in fitness, talking about the same stuff, and the way she talks about food and all of the studies that she's done, at least I can sort of watch that without having to research so many things, because I know that she's put in a lot of research when it comes to what to eat and things like that. So I have been eating just sort of whatever I feel like, really whole meal wholesome sort of foods like vegetables and meats, and occasionally I'll have maybe like coconut ice cream, occasionally meaning like every day, but just a little bit, but about 80% whole foods or wholesome foods, and about 20% not so wholesome foods, maybe like some sauces and like other things that sort of add up through the day. But she's been talking about having a lot more fats, higher fats, lower carbs, not no carbs, lower carbs, and obviously those low GI, really good quality carbs when you can have them, and your proteins as well as sort of your standard sort of protein intake, which is quite common for most people. So I had been eating a lot more carbs, because I thought if I had more carbs and lower fats, that would help me sort of have a good amount of body fat that I need. But she was saying that I should be doing the opposite, really. So I'm doing the opposite now. Just made that switch again. The government just announced JobKeeper, which is just about to sort of kick in about May. So work's been really helpful with that, and I'll kind of be nervous to just take some time off if I do get my period, and then I can go in and start finishing off the IVF stuff. I don't know. So here I am again in tears, rubbing my makeup off with my little wet droplets. So today I got my period and I should be really excited because this is a day that I can call and say I'm ready to go for the second stage. And with all the COVID stuff going on, there's been new regulations, and they said that they're not taking any first callers, or calling on day one, to try and minimize, I guess, foot traffic in there. And I totally get it, but it's so hard when all you've been doing is waiting. And I know that most people get their period every 35 days or 30 days, but sometimes I only get my period 3 times a year. And so I've been waiting like 8 weeks, 9 weeks for this period. And here it is, and I can't even use it. I called when I was at work, and I didn't even get a chance to find out what to do next. They said I could talk to my doctor, but I just feel like a bit of a wreck, and I know that so many girls will be calling and in tears right now because so many people have been trying way before they've done IVF, so to find out you have to wait some more. So I've called again and I'm waiting for a call back to find out what to do now. Do I just call back the next period I get on day 1 and see if all of the restrictions have been lifted and I can go in to finish off my treatment? And everything I've been looking forward to is today, so I was so happy for 45 minutes until I got a call back saying no, that I couldn't do anything from now. And it's COVID, so there's nothing else open. I can't go and just see my friends. I just feel miserable. I just want to go into bed, and the worst thing is that it's your period, so you just get the same pains to remind you, your period pains will remind you every moment that it's not even now, you have to wait some more, and waiting sucks. And I know that it's just waiting. That's the only thing that I'm upset about, is just having to wait some more. But I just want to encourage all those girls there that are still in the waiting stage. It's going to come. And it hurts now, and it's okay to hurt. Please don't keep it to yourself. Yes, it's not your standard pregnancy, where you announce it to everybody when you actually are pregnant. There's times where you're gonna think, maybe I'll just keep it to myself so that way I can announce it when everything is good, but you need to talk to someone right now. So whether you contact me and talk to me, or you talk to your mum, like I'm gonna call my mum after this and just have a big old cry. Please talk to someone, because it does hurt, and even though it's not forever, it's okay to hurt, it's okay to suck. You don't have to be positive all the time, and if you don't talk to anyone, you're just gonna bottle it up and break down over something else. So I found out by my doctor that I'll have to wait until my next period, and I've just been exhausted. I'm just so sick of an appointment and then waiting, and then an appointment and then waiting for results, and then an appointment and then waiting. And I was so excited when I woke up, because I'm like, yeah, the waiting's done again. And then to be told that I have to wait. I just want to encourage anybody that's scared. Like, I've had moments where I've been scared that I'll go in and they say that it didn't work, and I just don't know if I can handle any heartbreak like that, and I don't think I could handle it. So I've really had to tell myself that, no, yes, there is a what if it might not work, but there is a what if it does, and until I find out that it doesn't, I'm believing that it does work. Got my walking buddies who also needed a walk today because they've just been moping around the house with me. I've spoken to Mum and my husband, and I'm going to probably talk to some more friends about it tomorrow. But I wanted to get you an update on what the doctor said. Today is April the 6th. I have only had a couple of days of my period, probably my last day on my period, and I am in a bit of headspace. It's really nothing else I can just sort of control it. I had been feeling really nauseous pretty much every day since I started doing treatment, and I wasn't sure what it was, and I did do a couple of pregnancy tests because I just was waking up never feeling like food, and that's just not me at all. However, I was looking it up yesterday, and I noticed it said that you can feel sick from your prenatal multivitamins, and I did switch my prenatal multivitamins around the time I started doing medication, like injections, and yeah, and now I mean today I didn't have one, and I didn't feel sick in the morning like I had been feeling. Like, I was getting into like 2 bites of my food and going, oh my gosh, I can't even eat this. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, do I have anxiety? Like, what's going on? Because I love food and it looks appetizing and I could tell I'm hungry, but then I just feel really nauseous. Like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and I haven't thrown up, but it just feels like it feels awful. Yeah, so I didn't have my prenatal today, and I'm going to try just 2 more days without it. It doesn't really matter just missing 3 days, because you're meant to have it like 3 months before you actually conceive. So I'm just gonna go 2 more days without it and then have it again, and if I still feel nauseous from it, I'm gonna look up different prenatals that I can get that actually are softer on my tummy. So I've done 3 days without my prenatals, and I haven't felt nauseous, sick, or anything. So I know I'm feeling sick because of my prenatals. Really important if you are doing IVF to check. I've been starting to have my prenatals again. However, I'm trying to scatter them throughout the day and make sure that I'm having them just after I've had a meal, and it's somewhat helping a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to read this email out to you. It says, from Melbourne IVF, it is wonderful to write to you with good news. As you have no doubt seen in the media, the government has announced that restrictions on IVF and elective surgeries will be lifted on the 27th of April, which is Monday next week, and it is currently Wednesday. It means that when I get my next period and I make that phone call, I won't be shut down, and it wasn't their fault. It's, you know, the way of the world at the moment. But I just wanted to, celebrate and be excited for everybody that is awaiting elective surgeries and IVF, even though this time would have completely passed by the time that anyone's really watching this video. Wanted to just acknowledge the fact that it was really tough to not know whether or not this was going to come back soon or later, and just how long we would have had to have waited. So fingers crossed that I get my period soon. I've had it 2 weeks ago. I do feel a little bit of period pains today. However, I do just think that that's the prenatal vitamins just playing up in my system. So I'm thinking it could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks that I get my next period, and then we'll be able to continue with our treatment and use one of these 2 embryos that we have taken.